Chicken breast does not have to be boring, and using this recipe that you'll see today, you can take it in so many different directions. I'm using some fresh thyme, some fresh garlic, and making the juiciest pan roasted chicken breast ever. Let's get started. Now I'm simply seasoning the chicken breast with some salt and pepper. Now before you do that, make sure you pat the chicken dry so that the seasonings not only stick to it, but when you start pan frying, it gets a nice golden brown crust because we would have wiped off excess moisture. I'm also gonna be temping the chicken just to make my life easier. And if you're curious what I'm using right now, you can check out Tyfer's dual probe thermometer down below. It has really been helpful and kind of game-changing for my daily cooking. And if you do choose to check out Tyfer's thermometer, you can use my code and you can get up to 10% discount using it. Okay, so that's programmed for 165 and the pan is hot as well. Now, once the pan is hot, then add the oil and then look for the oil to get that little bit of a glimmer. You can see it kind of right here. Oil is ready, it's not smoking. Now add the chicken presentation side down and then just let it sit. Let that chicken sizzle. The less you touch it, the more chances you're giving it to get a nice crust. While that happens, I'm gonna season the other side with salt and pepper as well. And roughly about 4 to 5 minutes later, you can flip the chicken. It should release right away because that crust is looking perfectly golden brown. Now you want to lower the heat from medium to maybe mid-low and now add in some of your cold butter. And the olive oil here will help protect the butter from burning right away when you add it. Now you can add in your fresh thyme, some lightly crushed garlic just from the side of a knife. Just add that right in there, peels and everything for the garlic. And then just start basting using a tablespoon. Just let the thyme, the garlic roast with that hot butter and olive oil concoction and then spoon that over the herbs, the chicken, the garlic. And after about 1 to 2 minutes of doing that, you can pop this in the oven that's been preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This is when we'll finish the chicken. Now, if you had to make it all the way in the pan, and not use the oven at all, then I would recommend that you butterfly the chicken or tenderize it so that it's at most ½ an inch in thickness. Because cooking the chicken all the way in the pan, when it's that thick, you're gonna risk drying it out. You could use some broth, you could lower the heat, you could put a lid on, but you won't get that same finish. The oven and the consistent temperature within it helps create a more uniform environment for the chicken to really cook evenly without it drying out, without it burning. Now it should take you roughly between 8 to 15 minutes depending on how thick your chicken breasts are. The thin one here, it did get ready earlier, so I took it out earlier, but it took me about 12 minutes for the chicken to be perfectly 165. And you can see how the Tyfer probe shows that on my phone as well, so I don't have to sit around in the kitchen. I just get a notification. And this chicken here looks incredibly beautiful, and I would serve this as a main with some roasted potatoes or mashed potatoes, some sauteed carrots, and it's just a really fun, tasty way of having chicken. Now if you had skin on, bone in chicken breast, then that's even better because the skin, if you fry the chicken in the pan skin first, that skin protects the breast meat from drying out and the skin gets the chance to get really nice and crispy. Now one last tip, you see all that brown stuff in the pan? Well, that is fond and you can't create that. It has to be left over from the sauteing process that the chicken has gone through, the caramelization that has happened. So don't throw that away. Once you've removed the chicken, just pop the thyme and the garlic back in there with some broth and then just like boil it. And once it smells really aromatic, put some salt in, put some cornstarch slurry and just create the most amazing gravy to add and serve with your chicken. Hope you got a lot out of this video, and let me know what you want to see next and what other herbs you would have used instead of thyme. Rosemary is a great option. Some fresh oregano would be robust as well. I'll see you all on the next one.